Hello, 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 this is Frida. Welcome to my channel. For today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to knit a hat in a round using circular needles, which I have here is a 5mm knitting needle. And so I'm going to figure out how to make a hat using this stitch. It's multiple of 10 plus 1, but when it's a hat, we have to do multiple of 10 around plus 1 because I need that one stitch to make a crisscross and get rid of one stitch. Okay, so I'm knitting a scarf for the homeless, and I thought, let me figure out how to make a hat. I put my yarn in these little fillets that you buy, lemons, oranges. I cut the other side and I put my yarn so it won't get, these huge yarns, they're all over the place when you're knitting with them. But I need the other end because I want to use up the yarn for the hat, and I will continue knitting for the scarf as long as I finish. I will finish the yarn. That's what I usually do. But for this stitch, there's no pattern. I don't think so. So I'm going to make it up. So I have the other end, which I made a tutorial, and I'm just going to frog this. And then I'm going to cast on, it's multiple of 10, so I'm going to, plus 1, so I'm going to cast on 60 stitches. That is good for a regular hat, and this does stretch. But I'm going to use a smaller knitting needle. The one that I'm using is I think it's a 5.5. It's a little bigger because it's a scarf, but for a hat I want it a little bit smaller. Yeah, this is 5.5, as you can see. So I'm going to use that method. I'm a tight knitter, so you can use that consideration as well when your tight knitter is totally different. But if you're a tight knitter like me, I would recommend a smaller knitting needle for a hat, because we want it a little bit tight for the hat when you compare it to the scarf, right? Okay, so I'm going to frog this, and I will get the end, and I will cast on a total of 60 stitches plus 1, so 61, and I will be right back. 70 will be too big, so that's why 60 stitches with a 4-weight yarn would be great. I believe this is Burnett yarn. It's soft compared to Super Saver. What is that other brand name? I forgot. Yeah, this is soft. This is really soft. It looks different yarn, doesn't it, when I hold it like this? Okay, let me just cast on 61 stitches, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have cast on a total of 61 stitches. This is the right side of the work. So what I'm going to do is, this is it's a little bit big here. Let me see if I can find a smaller knitting needle just to start this up. But I already cast on, so suck it up, buttercup. Okay, so what you can do is, this is what I usually do. So we're going to do 1 knit 1 purl, the rib. About, I would say, 3 inches, 4 inches, depending how long you want the rib to be. Try not to twist it. Oh, I think I twisted it. Yeah, I did. Okay, let me just fix this. I'll be right back. Okay, I looked around. I don't know. I couldn't find any needles. When you need them, you can't find them. I usually hang. Here I have a lamp that I hang. And yeah, most of them are small. Okay, so I'm going to grab the first. And then this last one. And I'm going to knit those 2 together because I don't want a gap between, so I'm getting rid of 1 stitch. Okay. And what I'm going to do is knit 1, knit purl all the way around until until I have the length that I need. And this would be my marker here, so I know when I come here that I'm starting a new row. So just one knit, one purl all the way around, and I will come and meet you until I have the length. Be right back. Okay, so I have noticed I found a smaller knitting needle, which is 16 inches long. So this is going to be too small. So what I'm going to do is, instead of, this is 61, I'm going to cast on 20 stitches more on this knitting needles, and I'll be right back, because it's an error, yeah. So it's too small. But if you want to knit for a child, by all means, you can go ahead, because this is small. Okay, I'll be right back. I will cast on. I will do the same method. Instead of 61, I will do 81 with those needles, because that 20 stitches extra will give that room. And I will knit the length that I need, and I will come back to show you the rest. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I have knit the length that I need. It's about 2.5 inches. That's enough. I don't want it wide, that huge wide, right? So here we go. When you measure it, it's actually almost 3 inches. Okay, so I am at the point where I started, and I'm going to change my needles to a bigger, can't remember what size these are. So this one was a 5 that I knit the rib, the 1 knit 1 purl. So this is like 6.5. Yeah, when you look at it, I have this things, because these needles are over 10 years old. Okay, so I'm going to start the stitch, and I will pin the tutorial, the scarf that I have knit, so you can check how to knit the stitch on flat. So we're going to start the stitch. Okay, like I said, multiple of 10. Okay, so 5, 5. Each box, checker box, is 5. So this is where we started with the bigger needles, because I need that. Always knit with a smaller size, the rib, this band here, and then when you go up, change it to a bigger knitting needle. So this is 5, and this is 6.5. So it's perfect. Even if it was 7, that's okay. And like I said, I'm a tight knitter, so I am going to. This is the first stitch, so I am going to purl 5 stitches. Okay, and then I'm going to start the other box. So the first stitch, I am not going to knit, I'm going to slip. The next one I'm going to knit. I just realized I'll do a trick. I will knit 2 rows of knit stitch, so it will give me this 3D look effect. Can you see this? 2 rows of knit stitch will pop up the stitch, so I will start with that. That's the best way to start it. Yeah, so again, this is the beginning of the row. So just knit just like this with the bigger needles. Just knit 2 rows. So come back and knit another row, and then I will meet you right back here. Okay? Okay, so I have knit 2 rows. Now we're going to start the stitch. So we're going to knit 5 purl, 3, 4, 5. And then the first and the next checker box, we're going to pull it as if to knit, but not knit. So the yarn is on the back. Purl the next stitch. Again, repeat. So this way, this stitch is going to give that height that we're aiming for. The next one is purl, and again repeat. So we should have a total of 5 stitches. So 2, 4, 5. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. That's all we're going to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will knit all the way around, and I will come to the second row of the pattern stitch. Okay, so I am knitting the last part here. I did 5 pearls. Now I'm going to slide, purl, slide, purl, slide. Okay, because we are knitting around, just want to let you know about that. So when we're knitting around, we have to do the same method that we do on a straight needle. So we started the stitch. Now on the wrong side, what we do is we're going to do the same thing here. It's a little bit tricky, but I'm sure it's going to work out. Okay, so when I'm knitting the back of this, I do purl. So I'm going to do the same thing. What I do, so 5 purl, 3, 4, 5. Two, 4, and then 5. Okay, on the wrong side, what we do is we knit this stitch. So I am going to knit here. As you can see, because I slide it on the first row, the stitch will become longer. And here I'm just going to do the purl. Oops, purl, not just one purl. So I'm going to knit this stitch right here. Just like this, purl this one and knit this one. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So I'm going to do this. Again, I will pin, so I'm not going to do every step of the stitch because I already have a tutorial on how to knit the stitch. But when we're doing this on a round, we're going to repeat this until we have the length that we need of the stitch. And I will just show you. So I purl these. Let me just show you one more time. And I knit this stitch, purl, as if this is the wrong side of the work. Purl and then knit. And I just repeat this all the way around until I finish the row, and then I will do the first row that we did for the stitch. Just like here. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 ridges. This is how you count until you have your 4 ridges. We do the 2 knit, and then we repeat that, but we change the stitches around, the checker stitches around. So I will continue knitting until I have total of 4 ridges. These are the ridges here. So I have 1 and 2. Yeah. So I will finish, and I will come back to show you after knitting the 2 rows of knit, which we did at the beginning. That makes the stitch pop up. It gives you that 3D effect. So that is a tricky, no one shows you, but I am showing you in this tutorial that it's a technique that gives you the pop-ups of the stitches. Okay, so I will finish after the 2 rows of the knit, after making the checker, and I will come back to show you the opposite, the reversible, like so this, see, is here on top of this stitch. This is going to come the purl stitch, and then after finishing this, what we do is we knit this 1 knit 1 purl, slide 1 purl, slide 1 purl, and then you continue on changing every time you finish the checker. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I made a mistake when doing the purl stitch. We need to knit the second row, so every even row we have to do knit, and then odd row we do the purl stitch. Okay, so I'm going to fix this. It's an easy fix, but just to let you know before you go ahead, so we did a purl here. We're going to do a knit on the second row to create the ridges. If I do knit stitch, purl stitch on every row, it gives me the knit stitch on the back, which I don't want, because I want the two sides to be giving me the purl effect. Okay, so here, this row, I am going to purl right here. So it can be easily fixed when you make a mistake. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm doing this stitch with you, so I haven't done a test. I don't have time to do tests. That's how I do my tutorials. And I know lots of people complain. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna give me negative comment, I will just delete it. It's I'm trying to show you how to do it, and no one's perfect, so I do apologize. So here I did a purl, so this row I'm going to do knit. So I will fix each of these purls that I have done, and I will come back to show you. Okay, so we're going to count these ridges, so it's going to be at this point it's only 2. I need to do 3 more ridges. I will fix these, and I will come back to show you. Okay, I do apologize for that mistake, so this is an edit. Thank you. I'll see you back later. I'll be here shortly. Okay, so I finished. As you can see, I did the 2 row. And don't forget to do the last row when you're trying to finish. See, there's a total of 4 ridges. That's what we're aiming for. We need that height. So I'm going to start. So this is the next row. And then I am going to start 2, 4, last one. So here I see purl, so I'm going to do the opposite. Opposite is don't knit, purl, don't knit, slide, purl, don't knit, slide. So we have 5, 2, 4, 5, and here where I'm going to do the purl. So we're just changing, and then yeah, I really like this look, and this stitch is great for unisex, mostly male. It's not girly, so I thought this would be perfect. Okay, so this is all to it. So I'm going to repeat what I did here. I'm going to repeat the same technique and then finish. So this would be 1, and this would be the second checker. So always count 2, 4, 5, and here is the purl. So the previous stitch, slide, purl, slide, purl, slide, and then continue on. Okay, so I showed you how you start the next step. So I'm going to continue knitting. I just need about 10 inches from here to the top, and then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do any decreases. I'll show you that I already have a tutorial. I think I made it 10 or 12 years ago. So I'm going to use that technique, and that's all to it. So I'm going to continue knitting about 10 inches from the beginning all the way up, and that's all we need for a hat. Just trying to figure if I've had any hats here so I can show you. Yeah, I don't have any. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've been knitting, and I needed the length that I need. I knitted the length that I need. So I'm just gonna finish this. If you want a slouchy hat, I would recommend you to knit more than 10 inches. So this is perfect, just a regular hat. a beanie. So what you need is a tapestry needle. So we're going to cut the yarn. This is one of the techniques that I do instead of doing decrease. So I'm just gonna, don't want to cut it long so I can continue knitting the scarf. Okay, just what I'm going to do is, I didn't cut it long, but if you have lots of yarn you can cut it long, because I'm going to continue knitting the scarf. And what I'm going to do is just go through each stitch just like this. You can do this technique in any stitches that you like when you're knitting back and forth on a flat surface. You can turn it into a circular like what I just did, but you need to do the wrong side as well. Okay, let me just show you. So if you do this technique, this is the stitch, and when you look at it inside, it's the same as the scarf. See, it's the same. Okay, let me just go through on each of these stitches and I will be right back. Just like this. Okay, so I picked up one by one. So I'm just going to try to close up this hole by pulling it like this. Try not to break the yarn. If we break the yarn, that's the end of the story. So be careful not to break it. That's the reason, because I'm pulling the yarn, right? So that's the reason I didn't have the tail long. Got stuck here, right there. If you want to make your ponytail to come out of here, you can do that as well. You can leave it, make this bigger. So it gives you that nice top look of the hat. Okay, just like this. Try to be careful, because there's lots of stitches here, right? 80 stitches. Just like this. Try to pull it as gentle as you can. Okay, let me just try to close this as much as I can. I'll be right back. Okay, I tried to close as much as I can, but it's not closing up because there's too much stitches here. What you can do is you can do decreases and have less stitches, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to close this hole by making crosses like that. I'm going to even double ply this. If you're making a slouch hat, you can put a pom-pom if you want, but this is going to be a beanie. See? Here's another way. You can go around like this to shrink it as well. It's another way around that hole. Just like that, see? It's closed. Okay, let me just cut this. And yeah. Ta-da! Isn't this lovely? Just love it how it turned out. So I hope you like this tutorial. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Share it with your family and friends. And don't forget to hit that notification button. So every time I post a new video, you will be notified, indicating there's something new for you to watch. Just gonna put it on here. Oh, well, the head is not that big, but just to give you an idea. See? Perfect. You guys take care. Happy knitting. Bye-bye.